South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol has said his government may offer more than just humanitarian and economic aid to Ukraine in the case of a large-scale civilian attack. It's the first time Seoul has suggested it might shift its policy, if not sending lethal military aid. The U.S. has been nudging its Asian ally to provide more support to Ukraine. Well, Arise chief correspondent John Cookson has been monitoring developments, and he joins us now from London for more. Well, welcome to the show, John. Let's go straight into it. What is Russia's reaction to South Korea saying it might send arms to Ukraine?
Hi, ladies. Well, it won't surprise you at all that Russia is not very happy that this might, and let's stress the word might happen, South Korea might start supplying military equipment to Ukraine. The deputy chairman of the Russian Security Council, Dmitry Medvedev, has accused South Korea of, quote, aiding the enemy, namely Ukraine, and said to South Korea, how would you like it if Russia started supplying military hardware to North Korea, which will echo down the halls of the presidential palace in South Korea. So, as you might guess, the Russians aren't very happy. But let's try and put some of this in context. First of all, I would imagine that the supply of military equipment, if the South Koreans agree to do that, is some way off at the moment. And there is a backstory to all of this. As we know, the Indo-Pacific region is hotting up in terms of tensions at the moment because of China's threat to invade Taiwan, and it doesn't. It helps South Korea hugely to cozy up a little bit more to NATO and to get the alliance closer with NATO, with the prospect that things might go badly wrong in the Indo-Pacific region, which of course is where South Korea lies. So on the surface, it sounds quite dramatic that South Korea is or could supply military hardware to Ukraine, but I would suggest to you that's some way off, and there is possibly an ulterior motive to what South Korea apparently is planning.
Thank you, John. Now, if you know, what military hardware might they actually send?
Yeah, tanks, howitzers, ammunition, multiple rocket launch systems. They make these. South Korea has been in the front line of a war which against North Korea, which, strictly speaking, has not been sealed with a peace pact yet. The war, of course, was in the mid-50s. So South Korea has a very good arms system, but again, to go to this point, these will be new systems to the Ukrainians. The Ukrainian military have to be trained on these. Sometimes it takes months to learn how to use a new kind of rocket launch system. So although, as I said earlier, it is a news point and a dramatic story in theory, I think that this possibility that South Korea might supply tanks and other light attack aircraft is interesting, but not much more than that at the moment.
All right, John, but Ukraine's defense minister says that he's received the first of the Patriot defense systems. Now, how significant is that?
Well, it would be significant if we knew how many and where they came from. We can only speculate that, in fact, 65 Ukrainian servicemen have been training on Patriot missile systems in the United States, and only 65 of them. So that tells me that this is probably just one battery of the Patriot anti-missile systems that's been received, probably from Germany, although originating in America. Patriot has got nothing to do with being patriotic. It means phased array tracking radar to intercept target, which is a smart military way of saying bringing down anything that crosses the skies above you to protect the troops and cities on the ground. These Patriot missiles systems used since the 1980s, as I say, in about 18 different countries, including Saudi Arabia and Jordan, and they're very, very effective. But one battery, I'm just wondering how effective that's going to be in what may be quite a big Russian onslaught in the coming days and weeks against Ukraine. And also, to be really effective, you'd have to have one of these Patriot systems protecting almost every town and every city in Ukraine to really protect the country. So it's good that the first system has arrived. If it's just one battery, then great, but they need many more. They need hundreds more. So there is a meeting, in fact, in Ramstein, Germany on Friday, when 50 allies will get together and find out what Ukraine actually needs. And although the Patriot system is headline grabbing today, Ukraine will make desperate pleas for more ammunition, more rockets, just more everything from European and other allies.
All right, Chief Correspondent John Cookson, thank you so much for joining us on Newsday. We appreciate your time and analysis, as always.